Hello, everybody. It is I, Reyes Takeuchi, and your host for Mommy's Little Gamers. Huh? Huh? Didn't fuck up the intro that time, huh? Hi, you know I'm the first out here. Hi, you met me, of course, I know. Now, anyway, you may be wondering, don't you usually do fan fictions on Friday? And by usually, I mean like that one time? Yes. Even though I did plan on it, well, first time I forgot when I want to do it again. Second time, wait. Second time, how many times did I wind up forgetting or just postponing it? It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're doing it now. Now, if you're here last time, that's something weird. Best part of my day? Oh, stop it, you. Last time where we left off was Sonic High School. It's Mommy Milker Monday. Fuck yeah. Now, we were last at, it was in regards to the play for Sonic High School. And I couldn't find any more silly little VTuber fanfics, so I found some on the similar type, like Markiplier and Germa. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna be reading one of those. Yeah. Now let's head on over to the library. Hi. Ooh, let me just... No. Thank you. Now that I have water, I can actually do this good. Yeah, I might need a haircut. My hair is feeling silly. Now let's see. Let me know if everything's alright, because I'm just too silly. Nothing's too loud and all that. Everything should be good, right? Not too loud. Everything sounds good. Read to me, but oh, stop it. Alright. Wait, do I not have a... I don't have chat on here. Hold up. I want to fix that. Why didn't y'all tell me last time? The fuck? Then again, I never asked. But you know what? I'm gonna add chat on here. Not chat highlight. Where's chat? There you are. Yeah, I like y'all there. You know what? I'll add an emote thing as well. Why not? Emote wall. Got the emote wall, yeah. Close enough. Close enough, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. We might as well just read the rest of it because it's just 25 and we're already on 14. Alrighty. Chapter 14 of Sonic High School. The play. Let me check if everything's good. Yada yada yada. Alright. Chapter 14. The play. Sonic and Amy got to high school and went to the play, which was at the school. My contacts are acting weird already. Great. When they got to the auditorium, they were not expecting to be surprised, but they were, because the auditorium was actually full of men and women idiots waiting to see the play. Cool young people such as high school students did not come to see the play unless they had to. The place was so full that Sonic and Amy had to sit in back seats and surrounded by strangers that could have been dirty or usually did crime. Sonic looked around the place and saw Rouge and Knuckles Jr., who was a baby, sitting really by the door out, and Tails and Cream all the way on the other side, which is where they probably would have sat anyway because Tails hated Sonic to the sky. Sonic also saw Shadow standing around places, but he did not get in a seat because he was too bad for that. Alright, I just realized I don't have a pop filter. Let me just... Let's set this up real quick, because I'm a silly little person, and I forget. Come on. No. Stupid bitch. No. Close enough. Anyway.
We're at the play now,
said Amy to Sonic, even though she was surrounded by people who were neither of them.
I wonder where it will begin.
That's good. It's going to start soon,
said Sonic back to Amy.
What I'm wondering is not that, but it is if Charmy's going to mess up big time because he has been acting weird all week. I bet you he will.
Sonic laughed about this because it did not really matter him, but it did Charmy. Did I say Charmy or Charmy? You know, it doesn't matter. Where was I? The play they were doing was The Christmas Story, even though it was not Christmas time, but they thought it would be a good idea to do it anyway. In the play, Silver played Joseph, who was Jesus' dad. Charmy played Mary, because even though he was not a girl, everyone thought he was anyway. Baby version Jesus was going to be played by Knuckles, who was fitted for the role now that he was a baby. Forgot about that. Lurk. Hi, Golden. I hope you have fun lurking. Where was I? Sonic and Amy sat patiently in the seats they were in, even though Sonic could have been out running around. Sonic waited by rubbing Amy's leg and seeing how close he could get his hand to her vagina before she rubbed him off. Sonic determined that Amy was prime and ready for sex because her vagina felt hard and loose as far as he could tell when he would get close to it with his hand before the play began. He almost forgot totally that he had a deadly ball disease. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. Sonic had deadly ball disease. That's great. The play eventually started, and it was just as gay as he thought it would be. There was singing and songs, but otherwise it was just like the Christmas Story always was. Mary got a letter from an angel saying she was going to have a baby. But she did not want to have the baby at home because the king would not let babies vote. Okay. So Mary and Joseph rode bikes all the way from London to London to Jerusalem. When they got to there, the hospital was full, so they went to a barn and had the baby in there, and it turned out to be the legendary hero Jesus. Through the whole play, Silver did a really good job, and Charmy did an okay job, but everyone sure believed he was a woman because his voice was so high and girls. How would you feel if I put cat ears on you? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. Then they got to the ending where Mary was to have her baby out. Mary flipped on her front and Joseph pulled Jesus out of her butt, which looked totally fake, Sonic could tell, even with special effects. Joseph held Jesus up to show God and then gave him to Mary, who was actually Charmy. Charmy looked at Jesus, parentheses Knuckles, really close and then reached into his clothing with the hand that was not holding him and pulled out a knife. Time to get murdered, said Charmy as he started to kill Knuckles. Just as he began to do this, Silver bodily flew into them and knocked Knuckles away and up and away from Charmy.
Oh my god, what's happening?
Said Amy, who was startled hard. Wait, this is a genuine... Wait, why would Charmy do this?
Sonic is trying to kill Knuckles.
Wait, no. Charmy's trying to kill Knuckles, obviously, said Sonic to Amy. It was true, and people started to being yelling and screaming. Just then, a gunshot came from the back of the audience. I know it was Shadow. Shadow pulled out his gun, I knew it, from his spot, and aimed it at Charmy B from the back of the audience. Shadow fired his gun, and the bullet hit his head, but he must have been wearing a gun-proof helmet because the bullet from the gun went off his head and up into the ceiling, where it hit a light, and the light fell down along with other things. Something from the ceiling fell into the back of the stage, where the props were, and one of the props was a bomb that they used for some things. The prop was a real bomb though, and when the thing hit it, the bomb exploded. Why did they have a bomb? A bomb exploded with a huge explosion, like a bunch of horses made of fire running through the place. Suddenly people did not really care about the play anymore because the place was full of fire and could kill you. Rouge and Knuckles Jr. already got out quick right away because they were by the door. Sonic looked and saw Amy next to him and was almost unconscious because of all the fire and smoke and shocking things. Sonic picked her up and ran out of the auditorium with his fast speed. Sonic found Rouge and Knuckles Jr. outside in the hallway where it was safe. "Are you okay?" said Rouge. Knuckles Jr. predicted that this would happen, so he sat by the door so we could get out easy. Fuck. Shootout at the play AO? Oh my god, that is very late. Oh well.
Yes, we are okay,
Said Sonic.
Amy here is going into a shock attack, but it is nothing nothing she will not get over.
Sonic looked around and saw people running out, but there was a lot of other people still stuck in the auditorium, and some of them were fainted. People were leaving and not helping the other people get out. But the lunch lady, who had ears but was deaf, was running into the auditorium and carrying women and children back out. The lunch lady lived in Mongolia by herself as a child and became very strong from carrying trees back from the frozen forest to the villages that she traveled between, so now she could carry stacks of people. Since she was deaf, all of the noises that the fire was making did not bother her because she could not hear. I mean, alright. Sonic saw the lunch lady bring out cream, but Tails was not being brought out because he was not a woman or child. Sonic thought,
damn, he is still my friend.
Sonic swallowed his scary feelings and ran into the burning auditorium to Tails, who was passed out in the front. Sonic picked Tails up and ran and brought his body outside to the hallway and began doing CPR on his body. Excuse me. Sonic thought,
this will look gay.
But it did not matter because Tails was still his friend. Sonic pushed on his body and started kissing him to give him life again. Sonic kept kissing, and Amy and Rouge and Knuckles Jr. watched him as he kissed Tails' face, but Tails was not waking up.
Sonic,
said Shadow over on the side.
Charmy escaped and is running through the school like a murderer now. Stop CPR kissing Tails. You have to help us catch him.
Then Silver gave Knuckles to Rouge and said,
he is safe. He's safe now, but he needs to sleep.
Rouge was so happy she could have kissed him, but did not. Sonic looked and said,
Amy, finish doing CPR on Tails. I will let you and will not get jealous.
What the fuck? I hate this grammar. Sonic kissed her mouth and felt one of her boobs and ran off with Shadow and Silver to go catch the guy who was trying to kill baby Knuckles that was now running around the school and could danger them all. Wow. Alright. Sonic High School. Why am I reading the title again? I'm stupid. Chapter 15, Killer on the Loose. They spelled loose with an C instead of an S. Bruh. Author's note, I wrote this chapter on a train. Okay. Shadow and Silver ran ahead into the school, but Sonic stopped to go to the bathroom, and he took an enormous bad smelling poop. Sonic knew he must be very emotional because this poop was so big that when he tried to flush the toilet, the big poop log just folded in half and clogged the toilet easily while looking like part of a really fat pretzel that you would get at the mall, not like the little ones in bags from the supermarket. Sonic just said forget it and ran out of the now very stinky bathroom after Charmy beat. Sonic passed Shadow and Silver, who were in different hallways and going different ways, but he did not pass them at the same time because they were in different hallways, and because even though Sonic was very fast, he could not actually be in two different places at the same time. Sonic went one way, and Shadow went the other way, and Silver went another way, and another other way, and it kept happening. One room that Sonic looked in was the art room. It made Sonic remember having art class with Charmy B. Charmy could not control his gay urges like everyone else and used all the colors in every picture. Or like Sonic just used blue and Amy just used pink, and other people were also normal like that. Sonic thought about how this was, and that it was still surprising that Charmy could do something like this. Shadow went into the room. Among other rooms, it was the car fixing room. Shadow remembered about how he had car fixing class with Charmy and how Charmy was really terrible at fixing cars, because it was not like him to do something that was like a man would do. Shadow thought it was weird how Charmy could now do something that was so manly like killing. And one room that Silver ran into was the gym room, where Silver one time had gym class with Charmy B. He remembered how Charmy was positively the worst at sports and being an athlete, so it made him wonder why Charmy could do something that was actually doing something, like killing. Sonic and Shadow and Silver ran around and around, and eventually they just got tired and could not find Charmy at all. Charmy was trying to be a murderer, but they were just tired of looking for him, so they sat down in chairs and didn't do anything else now. Back in the front of the school, Amy decided that she needed to go to the bathroom. Rouge went with her because she had to go too, and Cream stayed with Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. and Tails, who was still trying to become awake. Most people had left the school by now, but there were still some waiting to get into the women's bathroom. But Amy and Rouge did not feel like waiting in line, so they just went to the men's bathroom, oh no. Where normally it was that the people inside were men. Amy and Rouge were not men, so this was against the rules. As soon as Amy opened the door, a super-powered smell hit her in the face. It punched her right in the nose because it was Sonic's poop smell. Oh my god, screamed Rouge. What is that smell? I've heard this smell a million times before, said Amy to Rouge, who could say this because she was Sonic's girlfriend, meaning that she has been around Sonic pooping. The smell is Sonic's poop! Amy and Rouge went into the bathroom anyway because you can never get a break when it comes to going to the bathroom. No matter what, you always end up going even if you try all to not to at all. They were holding their hands above their noses, and then Amy opened up a stall door, and inside was a shocking thing to see, but she saw it anyway. It was Charmy B. Screamed Amy in a scared and shocked way. How the fuck did I do Charmy B? I forgot. Wait, should I just do you know what? Fuck it. Not yet, said Charmy. But now I will start by killing by killing you. Charmy jumped at her from inside the stall and into Amy, and they fell back. And Charmy was on top and holding a knife and was about to cut Amy apart when Rouge came over and kicked Charmy, and he flew off her body and over to the wall by rolling. Take this, said Rouge, and she flapped her bat wings at Charmy to push all the horrible poop air at him. It all went to him, but then Charmy got up and ran right at Amy with his knife and cut her on the legs because he is short, and then jumped back. Ow! Said Amy. I'm dying! Amy fell backwards and got dizzy. No, stay with me, said Rouge. Use your special move while you can. Amy knew what Rouge was talking about, so Amy used her special attack. Amy shouted, "Girl blood!" and opened her legs, and a stream of blood shot at Charmy. Oh no. Since Amy was so good at being nice and caring, which is using her heart, Amy was able to speed up her heart so fast that her blood pumped out of the wound on her legs like a super soaker filled up by vampires. The blood hit Charmy in the face and body and all over really, and it was steaming and burning him. But he looked like he didn't care. Amy looked shocked and yelled, "How can you be so invincible?" Me being over dramatic and pulling out my paper card. Then Rouge said, "I bet he can't handle my special attack. Romance bite." Rouge flew with her bat wings and went over to Charmy and bit him right in the neck, using her fangs, and tried to make him fall in love with her, but it did not work. "It's not working," cried Amy. Excuse me. Excuse me again, holy fuck. "He must have superpowers, he's going to kill us for sure." Amy and Rouge tried to get away from Charmy, but he kept blocking them and coming at them with a knife. They were finally trapped in the corner, holding on to each other with their best in-show boobs pressing up against each other and looking like the sexiest Legos ever. What does that mean? What? Then, all of a sudden, Tails came into the bathroom and threw a piece of electronics at Charmy. Charmy looked up at Tails and said, "But you aren't supposed to be," and then died right there. Tails went over to Amy and Rouge and definitely stopped for a second to check out their boobs without them knowing, but then stopped and said, "You're safe now. That was not Charmy, it was a robot." Huh? "A robot? How did you know?" said Amy. Tails, being the smartest, thought it was a question for idiots, but said, "I knew as soon as Charmy was not being hurt by Sonic's poop stink. I was watching from the door. Normally, Charmy would have complained and passed out from smelling that, but he did not, so I knew. As soon as that happened, I ran and went and got a robot killer device for my electronics." Did I hear sexiest Legos? Did I hear that right? Yes, unfortunately you did. "Well, thanks," said Amy and kissed Tails on the cheek for a reward. "Really, Tails, you saved us," said Rouge and kissed Tails on the other cheek. "This shows you that you can be cool by being smart, except if you are a nerd ass." In parentheses. Tails and Amy and Rouge walked out of the bathroom and back to where Cream and Knuckles Jr. was. And soon Sonic and Shadow and Silver came back, and they were all back together. The lunch lady was the only person still there, and she saw how tired they looked. So she made them all a bunch of chow meat sandwiches. Chow meat? What the? And they all ate until their tummies were gonna burst. All the time while they were eating, though, Sonic thought,
"But then where is Charmy? And where's the guy who made the robot?" and so many other things. High school drama is just so crazy to be a part of.
Alright, before we go to the next two chapters, let's read, let's see. Which one y'all think in chat? Markiplier, Germa, Better Call Saul, or One More Hololive? Then again, this one's really long. Why is this one so long? Oh god. I think we'll save that one for later, but you know what? We're gonna go with Better Call Saul. This one is called Better Fuck Saul, a tracksuit smut. Summary: a young woman is seeking some legal advice. Saul Goodman finds there's another option for the evening. Wait, how many chapters are there? Oh, there's 2 chapters, never mind. Okay, we'll read 1 chapter of this, and then do the next 2, and then... Yeah. Anyway. Chapter 1, Better Fuck Saul, a tracksuit smut. What the fuck was that? A weird thing outside? The fuck? Fucker! Watch, it's gonna happen again. What the fuck? You know what? It's whatever. It got louder when I said whatever. Okay, what the... You know what? It's whatever. I'll just put the other headphone in. Holy fuck. You know what? I'm checking this out. What the fuck is going on? The universe does not want me to read fanfic, I see. Anyway, I'm back. Fuck me. Alright, now let's start. The young woman slowly opened the front door entrance to the outlet mall office. It was late and no one was there except for a woman behind a glass window. Holy fuck, I'm so fucking gassy. I've been like that for a week. For a week already. Are you guys closed? She muttered. The receptionist let out a very exhausted sigh. No, she said, but I'm not assisting any more clients. I'm here to see Saul Goodman? Yes, I know. Wait here. The receptionist walked to a door that led elsewhere. The young woman sat in the waiting room. Before seeing all the way, she pulled the skirt of her waitress uniform down a little, so not to expose her thighs too much. This place was a bit of a mess. Trash under the seats, 3-month-old magazine subscriptions on the table. Not really the A+ law service she had envisioned. Didn't matter though, it was a desperate time. The receptionist came back out. Mr. Goodman isn't here. She was very short with her response. Figures, she said. Not an important case anyway. Don't bother telling him I came in. She got up and tugged at his skirt again. She made her way to the doors. She reached for the handle, and at that moment, the door flung open. Francesca, do me a solid and call that son of a bitch. He stopped. The young woman had backed away in surprise. Saul was pleasantly surprised. Oh, well, hello. Francesca, you didn't tell me that I had any more clients. She wasn't scheduled. She barged in, Francesca explained. The woman slightly cut her off. I called you earlier. We spoke on the phone about the video. Her voice got low. My memory is slowly coming back to me. A promise is a promise though. Fran, if you're done with your duties here, you can go ahead home. Francesca shot the young woman a look before exiting the building. Saul escorted the woman into his office and closed the door behind them. He watched her walk to the chair in front of his desk and sit down. He gulped. His mouth was severely dry. Saul walked to his chair, grabbing the bottle of whiskey before he sat. You're not what I expected. Your voice sounded more coarse over the phone. He opened up the bottle, leaned it toward her to see if she wanted some. She declined. I work at a diner. It's exhausting. Did you just come from the gym? Pardon me? He paused before taking a sip. Your tracksuit. I assume you just came from the gym? Yeah, I have a membership to Gold's. It's a bit pricey, but it's worth the individual treatment. I'm sure you know about that. I do. I'm very good at my job. It's hard being a waitress. So, what's the case? Unless you're just here to talk. In that case, I don't mind. Haven't had a conversation with a decent human being all day. The woman's eyes wandered as she explained her problem. She crossed her legs, a bit of her thigh unintentionally showing. Saul continued to nod attentively. Occasionally, as she looked away while speaking, his eyes sank down to her long legs. One eyebrow raised as her skirt went up with every move she made. He nodded again to make it less obvious that he wasn't really listening. He gripped his hands together, imagining that he was the reason her skirt continued to ease its way up. Saul? Absolutely, whatever you like. Huh? No, does the case stand? He chugged some whiskey. Right. Okay, so he said that you're the cause of his accident because of damage done to his car, and why would his car work incorrectly? She sighed and looked away. Paused because the guilty party was pissed off because the innocent person in question cheated on her with her sister. Whoa, there's Steel Magnolia. How is he so sure it was you anyway? There were witnesses, and I'm pretty sure a video is on YouTube. Saul squinted his eyes and then suddenly remembered. Oh yeah, that video, you're right. Lots of people saw it and I may have forwarded to. He stopped himself when the woman didn't seem pleased. He got up from his chair and walked around the front. He leaned against the desk. In cases like this, with clear incriminating evidence, you're very clearly guilty. Hell, you made it to the big leagues of the internet already. The woman's posture changed. She slumped lower in the chair. I just can't get this out of my I just can't have this get out of hand. This sucks, but what sucks even harder is getting fired because of it. Saul could tell she was getting upset. Her eyes were tearing up. She bit her lip to try and stop from crying. He felt a little uncomfortable. He unzipped his tracksuit and lightly wrapped it around her shoulders. Hey now. He tried to soften his voice. Didn't help much. Still a little arrogant sounding. With this, the best thing we can do is claim, perhaps, mental distress. He paused. She looked up at him, eyeliner a little running from tears. I mean, if you just pretend, hell, I'd be messed up in the head if my own blood betrayed me too. She shook off his jacket and quickly stood up, her finger in her face. I'm not crazy, and I wouldn't let that dickhole make me seem that way to anyone, she explained. Less than an inch away from Saul. Wait, what? No, never mind. That's just a spot. She exclaimed, less than an inch away from Saul. He quickly grabbed her hand and pulled it away from his face. Look, no one's calling you crazy. It's just my legal advice. Now, off the record, hell yeah, you should have damaged his car. Maybe even break a few headlights if you know what I mean. Any man who would hurt a nice young woman like you surely doesn't desire you. Desire? Deserve. I said deserve, right? Saul cleared his throat. He realized his hand was still on hers. It was like a reflex when he pulled her closer to him. She came up closer to him, gently pressing her body to his. She didn't want to seem too forward, still didn't believe this was happening. But Saul was all for it. Finally, her skirt was able to slide up because of his hands. He put her hand and his on the desk, letting his free hand wander onto her waist. It slowly ran down her side and onto her thigh, and under her skirt to feel her smooth hips. She wrapped her arms around his shoulders. He teased her with his lips as he came extremely close to hers. She smelled the heavy scent of whiskey and cigs on his breath and wanted to lick every inch of it off him. I spaced out for 2 minutes and they're gonna have sex? Pretty much, I believe. She pulled his hands off of her and placed them on the edge of the desk. Saul was still leaned up against it. She felt down his chest and moved her hands down to his soft velour pants. She traced the outline of his dick through the fabric with her finger. Whoa, boy. Saul said under his breath. He was surprised this was happening and didn't include a massage table for once. His dick was being held up by the stretchy material. She slowly and methodically pulled out the elastic banding of his pants. It was released. It stuck straight up. The woman kissed the tip like it was a good luck charm. Saul started to get weak in the knees. He unbuttoned the top of his polo shirt. She slowly eased it into her mouth and let her tongue do the rest. Saul moaned every time her tongue made its way around his throbbing dick. His breathing was so heavy, he began to sweat in places he didn't even know he could. He firmly grabbed her hair and watched her head move forward and back, corresponding with the feeling of his thick, sweaty cock. Saul bit his bottom lip, his eyes low. Suddenly he grabbed the back of her neck and tilted her head back so she could look up at him. Saliva streamed from his cock. He guided her up, still making eye contact. and leaned her against the desk. She lay down, adjusting her skirt and pulling it down a little. Saul quickly stopped her. "Now, don't put that away just yet," he murmured softly. Saul put both of his hands underneath her uniform and eased it up over her waist. "Yeah, that's what I like to see." He pushed back his hair, not realizing his comb-over was totally out of place. It just made her even more wet, seeing his sweaty body over hers. She grabbed the collar of his polo and pulled him closer. Saul had to have it. He couldn't hold it back any longer. Reina said hi and have a good Sonic sex. You know what? I hope we get to Sonic sex again at some point. Maybe Sonic will have sex, who knows? I never read Sonic High School. Once Saul's body was against hers, he jacked off his dick a few more times before pressing it against her underwear. She jumped, feeling it suddenly. It felt bigger than it looked. He quickly moved her underwear out of the way and slowly pressed his sweaty dick inside of her. Her eyes dilated, her mouth opened wide. She was able to mouth the words, "Oh my God." He slowly began pushing in and out of her, over and over. All at the same time, Saul unbuttoned her uniform to expose her breasts. Still going in, he quickly grabs the glass bottle of whiskey and pours it down her chest. Saul instantly goes down and sucks it off of breasts and neck, kissing her on the lips after. "You sure aren't wasteful," she said, having a hard time catch her breath. "Trust me, I always make sure to fill up every last inch." As Saul said this, he pushed in even further, and the woman let out a loud, "Oh my God, yes." Saul kept going and going. He grabbed her uniform and almost ripping it in half off her body. She was holding tightly onto the elastic band of his pants, probably ruining its stretchiness. "Oh God damn it, you're so wet." Saul was going in faster. She grabbed his collar and pulled herself up. When Saul helped her up, the weight caused them to fall back onto the chair. This pushed it in even deeper. She began riding his sweaty hard cock, bouncing up and down, and Saul helping her out, holding tightly onto her waist and ass. "Say," he had to catch his breath. "Say, better fuck Saul." Saul, better call Saul. Yes, this is the same Saul. Better fuck Saul. What? He could barely pay attention from how wet and hoarse she was. "Say my name. Say better fuck Saul." He staggered his words. Saul could feel himself about to come, boiling point. The woman rode him harder and rhythmically. "Are you gonna fuck?" he asked. "Better fuck Saul." She yelled out just as she began to come, flowing all down his cock. Saul picked her up and put her on the desk, quickly laid her down and began to come. He nutted all over her wet pussy, her stomach, and exposed breasts. She rubbed it over her breast and helped jack the rest out of his cock. He slowed to a stop before he quivered a little from the intense orgasm they both shared. Saul swallowed, his mouth dry again. The woman looked up at the sweaty, slightly overweight man, with his comb over all out of place. Half his collar was up, the other half down. The velour tracksuit pants down to his ankles. She lay there with a mixture of cum and whiskey all over her body. She looked up at the wall behind her, reading "We the People" upside down and backwards, and began to laugh lightly. Saul was confused at first, then went along with it. He came closer and they began to make out. Sweaty, slightly overweight man. He can't with this. Her uniform was torn and soaked. Its new home was the trash can. The only thing that wasn't contaminated was Saul's tracksuit jacket. This appropriately covered her up to right above the knees. He walked her to her car. It was probably 2 o'clock a.m. now. There was a pleasant silence. I can't charge you for my services." She turned quickly. "Are you sure? I don't mind, really." "Nah, it's alright. Really, I know a guy. He'll take care of your ex personally. Consider it pro bono." She smiled and kissed him on the cheek. "Well, I did that because I wanted to, so consider that pro bono too." She began to get into her car when Saul grabbed her arm and was about to kiss her. Instead, he slapped her ass and helped her into the car. She rolled her eyes and smiled as she drove away. Saul watched her car pull off. He pulled out his phone and chose a number on speed dial. "Yep, hello?" Yeah, I'd like to order another one of my custom-made tracksuits. Yes? Yeah, I want 100% velour fabric. That's chapter 1. She going home with no undies on? I don't know. Alright, there's a second chapter, but we'll read that maybe after the next 2 chapters of Sonic High School. Alright, chapter 16, Responsibilities. It was now a new day of school and Sonic went to it. Sonic took a peek at the auditorium where the bomb had gone off last night, and it looked like they were fixing it, so it was good. Sonic went to his first class and his second class, and all of the classes after that until lunch, which is what he was at now. Sonic went to his lunch table and was about to say,
Hey guys!
but then he looked at his normal lunch table and thought,
What has happened?
Tails was not here because he has been mad at Sonic. Knuckles was not here because he was now a baby and with Rouge. Espio was not here because he was at the hospital after fighting with Knuckles before he became a baby. And Charming was not here because he was still in a disappearing mystery. The only people that were there were were Shadow and Vector.
Hey guys!
Said Sonic.
What's going on with high school?
What did I have as Vector?
That sure is crazy.
Laughed Vector while he ate his yellow sandwich.
Has anything new happened today?
Said Sonic to them. Did you hear? Did you hear? Said Shadow. Espio's back out from the hospital. He would be here at lunch right now, but he's getting all of his work from his teachers.
That reminds me,
Said Vector.
also Knuckles is having trouble with grades. Now that he has become a baby, he has not turned in any of his homework or tests, and he's going to fail high school. He'd kicked out if he doesn't do them.
What the fuck? He's a fucking baby.
Well, that's tough.
Said Sonic, and then all of a sudden the announcement speaker came on.
Attention, teenagers,
Said the announcement speaker.
Amy and Rouge have detention for going in the boys' room last night after the play. Please go there immediately.
Oh no!
Said Sonic so immediately. Looks like they're gonna be in there for a long time, said Shadow.
There's no way I can become true boyfriend and girlfriend with Amy if she is trapped in detention by having sex.
Said Sonic. Sonic was so upset now. Then the announcement speaker came on again.
Attention, teenagers, Sonic, please come to the office,
said the speaker.
Lalo, looks like you're in trouble too.
That was a totally different voice, said Vector. Vector was always making people mad. He was definitely an asshole to be around. Sonic got embarrassed like when Miss Lesson read about his balls problem. And he ran out of the lunchroom and through the halls with his head down, not looking or talking to anyone, and went to the office.
Hello?
Said Sonic to the office.
What do you want?
I got a burp.
Fuck. Here, this is for you,
said the school teacher, who had long hair and a star tattoo with an outline of her face. With an outline on her face. Who the fuck's that? That's so oddly specific, but alright. Rouge left
it for you before going into detention.
Sonic went over to the desk and she was at and looking at and pointing to, and found what she was talking about, which was Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. with a note attached to them. Said, "Please take care of us while Rouge and Espio are not around." Sonic was so surprised. He had never taken care of a baby before. Forget too, especially when one of them was his friend after becoming a baby. What? Wait, why can't she take care of them when she's in detention? I mean, it's... What?
Thanks for coming so quickly, said Knuckles Jr. I was getting hungry.
Knuckles Jr. was red. Sonic picked up Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. and put them in his backpack and went to the rest of his classes and then went home. Sonic got home and opened his backpack and took Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. out and put them on his bed.
Welcome to my room,
said Sonic.
Don't check out the pornos on my desk if you don't want to see them,
said Sonic.
You are both only babies.
Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. left and ate food that Sonic brought up for them after they left.
Hey, Sonic,
said Knuckles.
You gotta help me out with my homework.
I can just only fucking imagine a fucking baby saying all this crap.
It is very hard to write as a baby.
So then Sonic helped Knuckles learn to write, and he finished doing his homework as a baby. Knuckles probably did a lot of things wrong, but Sonic did not care, because homework was boring. Then Sonic went to mow the lawn, which made his balls itch extra. Then he went back upstairs, but stopped on the stairs to put on some soothing poultices, I guess, on his balls.
So, what do you guys do for fun?
Sonic to Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. Whoa, said Knuckles. Can we tell you and you promise you will not tell anyone?
Don't worry,
Said Knuckles Jr. to Knuckles.
I can tell he will not tell anyone.
Okay then, said Knuckles to Sonic. When we are alone and not being held by Rouge, we like to practice kissing on each other. It is technically okay because I am Knuckles Jr.'s dad, and a dad is allowed to kiss his baby. I'm dumbfounded. I am rather dumbfounded.
Cool,
Said Sonic.
show me.
So Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. got very up close to each other and kissed each other in a really good way. It was okay because they are father and son, and also both brothers, and that is allowed everywhere, and it is not illegal. I mean a little bit, even if they are both babies now. I feel like that's a little bit illegal. The two of them kissing looked like two big not sexual calculators pushing themselves together. It was not a sexual kiss, but it was a big gold medal kiss anyway. What does that mean, a big gold medal kiss? Alright.
Wow, I can tell you are both going to be romance experts when you grow up,
Said Sonic.
I would ask you for tips, but it would probably then be against the law.
Sonic asked them to kiss one more time, and they did, but Sonic videotaped it this time, so that he would know how to kiss Amy but even better next time they kiss, which would be when she gets out of detention. Then they all had a root beer and talked about which girls are the hottest.
Which girl do you think is the hottest?
Said Sonic to Knuckles and Knuckles Jr.
I know my answer. It is Amy.
Amy was Sonic's girlfriend. Why does it say it so many times? So this was very good of him to say. It proves that he should be able to have sex with her. No way, said Knuckles. Just then, Sonic wanted to slug that little... I'm not saying that! Okay. Wanted to slug that bitch in the mouth for saying ugly about his girlfriend, but didn't. The hottest girl is Rouge. None of them could not say that Rouge was not attractive because she had the absolute biggest boobs in the tri-state area. Wait, the tri-state area? Like the Phineas and Ferb?
My opinion is different.
Said Knuckles Jr.
I think the hottest girl is Charmy.
They all laughed so hard because Charmy was so much like a girl, except not hot. Everyone knew that laughing was good for them, even if Charmy was kidnapped or dead. It made them feel healthy. Knuckles Jr. was definitely the coolest baby because everyone could get along with him and he could do jokes, also. Then they all got out of their clothes and into bedtime clothes and went to sleep. Sonic was sleeping just fine and normally until there was a whisper at the edge of his face.
Sonic. Sonic. Sonic,
Said the whisper.
Sonic. Sonic. Sonic.
Sonic opened his eyes and saw the person whispering to him. And who he saw was right there, which was Knuckles Jr.
What is it, Knuckles Jr.?
Said Sonic to Knuckles.
I was sleeping until you whispered my name to me.
I have a vision.
Said Knuckles Jr.
I know who the real killer man is, and I know where Charmy is.
Why does Knuckles Jr. have this fucking ability? Chapter 17, Breaking In. Okay, there's some stuff here. Summary. Warning. Contains the worst sex scene ever written. And yes, I have read My Immortal. What's My Immortal? Hold on. I'm curious. What's My Immortal? It's a fucking My Hero Academia fanfic. I'm not reading that. Authors know, if you have any comments or complaints about or questions or suggestions, please leave a review or comment. I really like getting them, and it makes me want to write more. I could probably write a Wikipedia about everything in this series so far. That sounds scary. My Immortal? Not my favorite song? No. No, it's a fanfic called My Immortal, which involves My Hero Academia, and I don't want to see what it contains. Alright, chapter 17, breaking in.
Ass! This window will not open, not even a little,
Said Sonic as he tried pushing the window of the house where Charmy Bee was in Knuckles Jr.'s vision. Sonic even put his back up against the wall and tried using the top of his head and hands to push up on it. But it would just not move because it was just such a big and heavy closed window.
It looks like you are having a hard time,
Said Knuckles Jr.
weak pussy.
Knuckles Jr. laughed because he was kidding. But Sonic did not think it was that funny and gave him a look that was like he just took the pickles off Sonic's hamburger that he practically asked for pickles on. In addition, Sonic really liked pickles. Okay. God.
We need help, but I do not want to bring someone else into this problem.
Said Sonic to Knuckles Jr., thinking. Sonic thought about
Who is strong?
He thought of some people, like Knuckles, but then remembered that he is now a baby, and hence thus not a strong guy, and Tails, who was not strong but probably had some strong robots, and Espio, who was probably about the same in strongness as Sonic, but Sonic did not want to ask him for help because that would be like saying,
You're stronger than me.
and Sonic did not want to say that to Espio. He also thought of Big the Cat, who was in some... I don't know if I can't say that. Classes at school, but he did not want to talk to him because it was always weird. There was only one person that Sonic could think of.
Come with me, Knuckles Jr.
Said Sonic to Knuckles Jr. In the middle of the night, and Sonic and Knuckles Jr. went up to the door of a different house. Ding dong, said the doorbell when Sonic pressed it.
Press it again,
Said Knuckles Jr. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, said the doorbell again and again as Sonic pressed it. Sonic saw the lights flashing on and off inside the house every time he pressed it and laughed because it was so annoying and the person inside the house was probably just trying to sleep. But Sonic needed help, so too bad. Finally the door opened and there was the lunch lady from high school, who was deaf.
What is it, children?
Said the lunch lady. Since she was deaf, when she talked it sounded weird and kind of like Big the Cat, where you think she is, but she is actually not. And it's just because she is deaf, so everything she says sounds totally wrong. It sounded more like, what is it, children? Than normal language. Big the Cat was actually, though, so it was different.
We need your help. It is very important.
Said Sonic and made a face like a beggar idiot to get her to say yes. Okay, I will help you. Is it bad that I do a voice like that? For someone that's deaf? That's not bad, right? Nah. What do you think? You know what? Yeah. Let me know while I read the rest, because I don't know. I mean, it told me how she sounded like, but like, I don't know. Sonic and Knuckles Jr. were so excited that they high-fived right there because this was just what they needed to do, what they wanted to do. Sonic and Knuckles Jr. and the lunch lady went back to the house where Charmy was and went to the window that Sonic could not open.
Please open this window,
Said Sonic to the lunch lady. The lunch lady walked over to the window and with just her pinky finger she opened the window like she was a walking elephant picking up a piece of string because it was so easy.
Well, thank you,
Said Sonic and Knuckles Jr. at the same time in the middle of the night. No, it is not how you thank me, said the lunch lady. When the lunch lady lived in Bangladesh, as a young woman, she learned about the ancient tradition of sex thinking and she blamed it all to Sonic. I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I don't like this.
So you want me to give you sex with my mouth?
Said Sonic to the lunch lady. Yes, because it is the ancient tradition. It is not slutty, said the lunch lady, who was also really tall. I don't have alcohol, do I? I do not. I have Gatorade, an old pizza, a gallon of milk, and a gallon of water. Great. I'm not getting drunk off milk now. I don't want to read this, but I have to. Kinda.
Amy will forgive me for this, thought Sonic under his hair in his brain. She would not know that I am doing this for a good reason, and we have not even done sex yet, so she cannot be mad at me. And even if she is, I would let her give sex to the lunch lady too, and I would not get mad. But then we would be even.
Sonic winked and gave her a thumbs up, and then the lunch lady pulled her dress down and sat down on a tree stump and opened her legs. Chat, I hate this. I hate this a whole lot. You know? I just hate this. I hate this so much. I hate this. I hate this. I'm getting too invested? Of course you are. Sonic looked at the lunch lady's vagina. Fuck. And it looked like a sideways piece of lasagna and in between two dogs walking down and away from it. Sonic thought her vagina was really attractive for a middle-aged lady and put his hand closer to it. Sonic had never done mouth sex before, but he had read about it online and maybe looked at some pictures or videos really quick, then closed them before he would get in trouble with Mom. Sonic tried to think about the videos to know what to do, but it turned out Sonic was quite the sex man. It all came naturally to him anyways. This is illegal, LMAO, I know that. Sonic opened his mouth and chewed on the... I'm sorry, I almost threw up a little. And chewed on the lunch lady's vagina really hard like Pac-Man running into the bottom of one of the goals non-stop. You can do this, Reyes. Holy shit, you read worse things. You read worse things. You could do this. Fuck. She was totally quiet when he did this, but she was beating on the ground and making huge holes like meteors and even hit a tree nearby and it broke in half because she was so in love with Sonic's abilities. Sonic nibbled on her outer vagina and it says... like a birthday cake. His penis even popped up during this like a meerkat looking out for its family on Meerkat Manor. He kept on going closer into her vagina and making sure to get every part of it on the way down like a window washer in New York City washing windows, but instead it was her vagina, so it was sexy. Sonic also kissed and sucked on her vagina like he was trying to appreciate the secret saw. The ladies... the secret sauce on the lunch lady's roast beef without opening the sandwich. I'm fucking tearing up. I want to kill myself. Sonic even used tongue to scoop eggs out of her vagina. And that were made for the reproduction. That were made during the female reproduction process. He kept going further into her vagina until he was able to fit his entire head in. I'm gonna drink water. Oh fuck. I'm gonna go get water. I hate it here. I'm saying I'm getting ready to throw up. Water time. Oh my god. Open. Stupid thing of I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Okay, got a cup of water. way. I hate this. Ugh. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. Sonic is going into the lift. Say, shut up. I hate this. It's a fucking Monday. God. Sonic took his head out of her vagina and pressed the vagina his face like combed his hair.
You're welcome, laughed Sonic smoothly to the lunch lady.
And looked at Knuckles Jr., who was watching with big eyes but did not say anything. I hate this. The lunch lady put her clothes on and shook his hand and said that the people of Bangladesh would be very impressed with him, and that if he ever wanted to visit there, just to tell her. And she could buy plane tickets for him and all his friends. The lunch lady was really nice, even if she had weird ideas that she got from being in Asia when she was little. She went back home to go to sleep. Oh. I skipped a whole paragraph. Okay. No, hold on. I skipped a whole paragraph. I'm sorry. Okay. I might die. It was really okay. We're going back. I'm sorry to those if anyone's just joining, just in case. I accidentally skipped a paragraph. So here we go. It was really dark inside her vagina because there weren't any lights, but it was clearly where the sexiest parts of her were. I hate this. It was spacious like an empty factory from all the previous sex-thinking people had done to her. God. Sonic was able to get them sex spots, all using his mouth and nose and forehead, pleasing her and making her fall in love with him. He was rolling his head around in her vagina like he was doing a hula hoop on his neck. She was so impressed that Sonic thought she would email everyone in Bangladesh to tell them how good Sonic was at sex thinking later. Sonic decided it was time to finish doing this and shouted, "Yeah!" inside her vagina to make vibrations bounce off the walls of her vagina and hitting all of her sex spots at once. What? Alright, the lunch lady was so excited that she pulled the tree stump that she was sitting on out of the ground. She could do this because she was very strong and experienced with carrying trees. Blah blah blah, vagina crumbs, blah blah blah. Sonic is out, they shake hands. She went back home to go to sleep. Sonic and Knuckles Jr. then went inside the open window.
He's in there, I know it.
Said Knuckles Jr., who was pointing at a closet in the room that they were in, which was now inside the house, and it was a bedroom inside. I got a burp. Sonic and Knuckles tiptoed over to the closet and opened it up, and what they saw was surprising and shocking and scary. It was Charming Bee's body, all dead and bloody and rotting and cut up into pieces. Holy shit.
Wow, he is completely dead,
said Sonic, who was so shocked that he could. Wait, didn't Sonic only want to have sex with Amy? Yeah, but no, Sonic didn't cheat. No, this was literally discussed in this first section of this. They couldn't open the window, so they had to get the lunch lady. And then, according to her, from when she was in Bangladesh after helping Sonic, this is called sex thinking. I don't want to be the lore master of Sonic High School. That sounds like a terrible thing to be. But it's just like, he even had like a little moral code to this. It was like, it's not cheating. And if Amy was mad, I would let her do the sex thinking with the lunch lady so that they would be even. And it's not a sex thing at all, really. It's more of like here's a weird thank you tradition in Bangladesh, which I hope is wrong. So, in in a broad sense, yes, it might be, but like really, no. With context, it's not cheating. I don't think this fan fiction hurts me, my brain. All right, let's see. So shocked that he could not think about anything else. It was true. This time, it was really charming, and he was dead.
Oh my god, I am seeing so many shocking things for the first time today.
Said Knuckles Jr. Sonic went down and picked up a piece of his body and saw bite marks on it, in it. Sonic was about to say something, and then all of a sudden, this happened.
What are you doing, idiots?
Shouted Vector.
How did you get in here?
That window, bitch dick!
Bitch dick. Said Sonic as he felt a sudden rage build up inside him like the foam from cream soda going over the top of the glass when someone pours it like an idiot ass.
What is wrong with you? Why did you do this? Why are you the murderer?
Ha ha ha, let me show you how.
Said Vector as he ran at Sonic and Knuckles Jr., chopping his teeth in the style of an alligator. Ah, Vector, why would he do this? Wait. Okay, yeah, this is the next chapter I'm doing. Chapter 18, The Murderer. Vector ran at Sonic and Knuckles Jr., who were there in his room, with his teeth going a million miles an hour.
Here comes your death, straight from my mouth,
said Vector as he ran at them, still going. Ah! Shouted Sonic. Sonic was fast and able to do it, so he ran forward and between Vector's legs, under his body, and hit his head into Vector's penis while sliding through. What? He was still holding Knuckles Jr., the baby. Sonic ran to another wall of the room, but Vector ran right back at him with his big crocodile bite move, and Sonic dodged him again, and it kept happening again and again.
Stop it! Shouted Sonic. Stop doing this!
Sonic was sick of hitting his head into Vector's penis. It was beginning to leave a mark, and it was embarrassing to Sonic to have someone else's penis mark on your head.
This better come out before school,
said Sonic, rubbing the mark Vector's penis left on his forehead.
No, you must die,
said Vector and continued to be the murderer that he had turned out to be.
No, stop, come on,
said Sonic, yelling as he was getting so mad. But Vector ran at him another time, and Sonic kept hitting his thick green crocodile dick. It kept getting harder every time he hit it. Sonic guessed weird things like this were sexy to Vector. Sonic kept hitting his penis and making it harder and harder until one time Sonic slid under where his penis and stuff was, and it hit it with his head again. So semen ejaculated out of his penis and crossed the floor in a big long puddle, like a slip and slide covered in mayonnaise. That's gross.
Alright,
said Sonic. Vector looked shocked, like he did not even notice that his penis was turning into a hard penis. Now, Sonic threw Knuckles Jr. at the puddle of Vector's semen. Okay. Knuckles Jr. glided across Vector's semen like a baby speedboat and did a roller coaster turn and flew up onto Vector. Knuckles Jr. landed somewhere on him and did a tumble forward and got to his head where he poked Vector's eyes. And Vector began to scream,
"Ah, bitch baby, that hurts, I'll kill you!"
screamed Vector while Knuckles Jr. rolled off his body and over to the door of his room.
Over here,
Sonic,
said Knuckles Jr. while Vector was still rubbing his eyes, which hurt from the attack. Sonic ran over to the door and with his speeding legs, kicked it down like a professional wrestler, picking a person up and hitting them down on the ground through a door. Sonic then picked up Knuckles Jr. and ran through the door and down the hall through Vector's house and saw lots of green things and things that were about crocodiles. And also bad things like rooms full of drugs and guns, and even things like weird African porn videos. Alright. Then he got to a different door and opened it and walked into the other side and closed the door and put some things in front of the door to block it. Then with a stomping loud noise like a bowling ball with legs was jumping up and down on the floor and hitting it hard. Vector went up to the door and put his body on trying to crash through like a penis going into a big hard vagina. These are some weird metaphors or similes, or you know what I mean.
"Open this, please!"
screamed Vector as he tried to hit her down.
No, why did you kill Charlie?
Shouted Sonic at Vector, who was on the other side of the door that was hard to get through.
because Knuckles messed it all up. Knuckles or Espio was supposed to kill the other one when they fought in the school hallway that one time. I made that fight happen because I wanted one of them to die because they are both lords, and they are the only people who could beat me and become the new football team captain. So I went to Knuckles' house instead after and replaced him with the robot Charmy. I took the real Charmy home and chewed on his broken body and made him into meat that I can use for meals. He was no use to anyone, especially not me. None of you are. None of you are.
There we go. Vector screamed and screamed and hit the door, but still could not get through.
Where did you get a Charmy robot? Is Eggman involved? This could ruin things for everyone, don't you know?
Said Sonic back to Vector like a ship sending a message to a different ship. What purpose did that little thing have?
When you begin to do crimes, you become dark, and I have now become darker than Shadow. I made friends with Al Qaeda, and they made me a Charmy robot using Osama bin Laden's technology. He was bulletproof and was going to kill first Knuckles, and then Espio in the hospital, and then maybe the rest of you. I wanted you, but you messed it up. Shit, idiot.
Vector hit on the floor so hard that it actually started to break.
Let's get out of here.
Said Knuckles Jr.
We can call police. Let's just get out of here and get safe.
Then Sonic and Knuckles ran out of the house, but just when they were doing that, Vector broke through the door and jumped like an alligator at Sonic and Knuckles Jr. And hit them to the ground and landed on top of them.
Now I will kill you just like I did to Charmy.
Said Vector and opened his mouth really big to bite their bodies. But then all of a sudden, something came from out of the sky and picked them up, and Vector was left there on the ground looking like a teen loser.
We're in the air now, said
Tails.
I rescued you.
Tails was using his flying tails to fly and was holding Sonic, who was holding Knuckles Jr. They were like a helicopter? Question mark? Why is that a question?
Wait, how did you know we were here?
Said Sonic, who was so shocked to be in this situation.
I looked at the Charmy robot and figured out it was from Al Qaeda and broke into the government computer network system data and found out that Vector was friends with Al Qaeda.
Said Tails, the smart friend of Sonic.
But I thought you were pissed at me.
Said Sonic with a questioning sound.
I'm tired of being mad at you. We are best friends again,
Said Tails.
Cool, now let's get Vector.
Said Sonic, but now they were up above the clouds, which is very high.
Fly down and I'll kick his face off.
Tails flew down fast and Sonic held on to Knuckles Jr. really tightly. Sonic had his legs sticking out to kick and they went down faster than a shooting star being shot out of a gun down. They went down back to the floor where Vector was and kicked Vector's face. Vector's head almost spun around because they hit him so hard. But now he was on the ground.
Tails, do that one more time,
said Sonic. Tails flew up and then Sonic revealed his balls even though he could not see almost the whole country from up here. He did not care because this was more important. Sonic scratched his balls and held onto Knuckles Jr. while Tails flew down fast again. Alright. Sonic's balls dragged behind him in the sky and they went down to the bottom of the ground and Sonic's diseased balls smacked right into Vector's face.
No!
Screamed Vector as Sonic's balls smacked into his mouth and nose and eyes like a plastic bag full of pudding. Ew! Vector looked into the sky and made an asshole face for the last time and then he turned into stone and then turned into dust and was now dead. What?
Can be glad for once that my balls are very poisonous,
said Sonic as he looked at the pile of dust that was Vector before he died and did some squinting.
He is dead and everyone is okay now.
So that's what happens when you touch Sonic's balls? If you're not Sonic, I guess? You just die like that? Alright.
Thank goodness.
Said Knuckles Jr. to them.
This was too much excitement for one night.
Look at the bright side.
Said Tails to them.
Two of the worst teenagers in high school are dead. Yes, it is all fixed now,
said Sonic. They took Charmy's body with them, but not Vector's, who is now a pile of dust, because they thought he did not deserve to be nice to. Then they went home to get ready for school tomorrow, and Sonic thought,
there are still more problems to deal with in high school. This is not over, especially not for me.
What are they gonna do with Charmy's body? Oh no. I just looked. Never mind. All right. Now we're gonna go switch to the next thing, which is, you know what? Yeah. Chapter 2, A Better Fuck Saul. Chapter 2, Better Fuck Saul. Courthouse debauchery. Summary. Saul receives the news that his client must spend 8 months behind bars, but before going away, they have one last meeting. Saul walked in quickly with his briefcase and flung it on the table of the meeting room. He took a deep breath. He seemed to give off the demeanor that he was upset, but came off like he was acting. He rubbed his hands together, thinking something quick to tell his client. A woman sat at the table, anticipating some kind of response. When Saul's mouth pinched to the left, she knew it wasn't good news. Sex before jail sentence? Yeah, why not? Go out with a bang. Her hair was ragged. It was the nicest she could make it with her limited simply. Her clothes looked a bit messy. Best she could do to look like you're going to your mom's funeral, which is how Saul made it sound. With all her hard work to look like a respectable citizen of society, it still didn't turn out how she wanted. Saul neatened his hair before he started. So, I got some good news and bad. He spoke with his hands, trying to sell this to her the best he could. I just spoke with the judge and plaintiff's lawyer. Odds are, they're sending you to the big house, 8 months tops. The woman was highly displeased. Damn it, Saul, she crossed her arms. You were supposed to get me off. Hey, don't give me that. If you hadn't kept your sticky fingers off the goods and on the goods. He slightly gestured his tongue. Maybe you wouldn't be in this situation. Now, 8 months for petty theft is nothing. Believe it or not, I got a solution. A little help on the inside and some favors given. You can spend as low as 2 months in there. Well, I'll be out of there before anyone can miss you. The woman's look changed. She was more pleasant and had a little grin. Oh, really? Well, it's better than spending a year in there again. Sonic came up to her and gave her a large smile, like he was doing it for his nightly commercial. She gave him a big hug. Well, you did everything you could. Come on, we gotta appear in court in 5 minutes. They both exited the room and started walking to the courtroom. There weren't too many cases, so the place was pretty quiet. She and Saul walked past the restroom. She stopped. He saw, I should go to the restroom real quick. He pulled back his sleeve to look at his watch. We got 4 minutes, make it fast. Before he could turn his head, she swiftly tugged on the end of his tie. No, Saul, I have to go to the restroom. She repeated more seductively this time, and left to the restroom. Saul allowed the door to completely shut before he swept his hair and walked in. He quickly walked in and closed the door behind him. He found her standing at the sink, reapplying her lip gloss in the mirror. Saul was simply taken back by the curvature of her hips and the pin skirt she was wearing. Saul paced the floor a little before walked up to her and leaned against the sink. Couldn't believe whatever it was about to happen. She continued to look in the mirror. And what exactly were you planning to do in here? He asked her rhetorically. Oh, I don't know. I just figured since I'll be going away for an awfully long time. She got closer to him. I might as well pay you back for your services. The next thing, they were passionately making out, clumsily getting into one of the stalls. Saul held her hips so tightly, gripping them hard enough to make bruises. He kissed her neck and tasted her lips ravenously. While he kissed her, he could smell every bit of her off-brand Channel No. 5. She quickly untucked the shirt and whipped off his leather belt, throwing it on the ground. Saul, still holding onto her hips, spun her around. While he kissed the back of her neck, he proceeded to pull up her skirt. Take it off of me, she moaned. She helped him pull up the skirt. It was a bit hard since it had cut off under the knees. Once the skirt was at her waist, Saul reached around it to the front of her. Bend over, Saul demanded softly. His voice was scratchy, making it sound like a growl. She spread her legs, shoulders length apart, and bent over, both her hands against the restroom tile wall. Saul began to pleasure her, his fingers slipping against her pussy, making it even wetter. At the same time, he worked to get his pants undone. He zipped open his flight and eased out his hard dick. It was simultaneous, his fingers in the front of her, tickling her soft clit and wrecking pussy with his cock at the same time. His free hand grabbed her ass and squeezed it like a lemon. She was so overwhelmed by the double stimulation. She was almost weak in the knees. Saul wrapped his arm around her waist and held her up, feeling her quiver in his embrace. All I could hear was the clapping of their two bodies. 3 minutes left. Her wetness was sliding down her thighs. Saul's mouth was wide open, breathing heavily on her neck and repeating the phrase. He got faster and faster, penetrating her pussy that was so wet, allowing moist slip in. He pulled out and turned her quickly around to face him. She places her foot up on the toilet seat, opening up her legs again for his dick. He pressed in and began fucking her harder, her body bumping up. Fuck, she yelled, not able to hold anything back. Her cum wet up his cock and Saul shivered from its wheel. Can you find a JoJo one? I will try to do that. I did try before, but I gotta be more specific, because I gotta find one of those heavily cursed ones. And by curse, oh boy, you have no idea what I know. Oh my god, Saul, you're fucking dick? What? You fucking dick? I guess, I don't know. What the fuck? That is weirdly written. 2 minutes left. Saul's hand was against the wall. She laid against the wall, still breathing heavily from her orgasmic high. He leaned into her space. He said tenderly, I'm not done. She looked up at him and smiled. She slid down the wall and crouched down to her knees. Saul let out a big sigh as she forcibly pulling down his pants. She looked up at him and licked her lips before going full on, going both with mouth and hand. His dick was still wet with her cum. That's the spot. Yep. Oh god, you're brilliant. Fuck. 1 minute left. He had to stop himself from drooling. His head was facing the ceiling. It was in her mouth, and she swirled her tongue along the side. Faster, she vigorously went at it. His eyes rolled in the back of his head, mouth wide open. He came in her mouth, some of the juices seeping out of the side of her mouth. Oh yeah, he yelled. Time's up. The judge sat there, pleasantly tapping his finger on the gavel, deposing lower every once in a while, leaning to his client to reassure them. Complete silence still. Boom! Saul burst in with his client from the back of the courtroom, then quickly walked in and sat at their side. Saul's hair was slightly frazzled. He tried to put his comb-over back to the best he could. His clothes were back on, but no belt. The woman's clothing was neatly back on, but her hair looked worse than before the restroom. You're very late, Mr. Goodman, said the judge. The judge said sternly. Your Honor, I was held up with my client. She spent the last few minutes apologizing dearly for her actions. He glanced at her and winked. She smiled. He rolled his eyes. All right, ruling in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is guilty and will spend 8 months in prison for petty theft. He may be dismissed. He slammed the gavel and the court stood up. A police official came in and handcuffed the woman. See you in 8 months, she teased. Less if I have anything to say about it. The end for better fuck Saul. Great. Okay. I'll try looking for the JoJo one after this. After the next 2 chapters of Sonic High School. Chapter 19, Secret Prostitute. Summary. Warning, another bad sex scene. Great. It was now a new day of school and Sonic went right to school. Sonic had Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. in his backpack since he still had them after explaining what happened to Knuckles yesterday. Sonic scratched his balls along the way and they were only getting worse.
You look like spoiled meat,
said Sonic to his balls. Sonic got to school and the first thing he did was bring Charmy's dead head to the theater club. Why would you do that? Because that was Charmy's favorite thing. And Sonic thought Charmy would like it if they used his face for a mask for the next play now that he is dead. Then Sonic took the rest of Charmy's body and put it outside in a trash can so nobody would look and try to find it and it could be safe and alone. Huh? I shouldn't question anything that happens in Sonic High School anymore. I really shouldn't. But here I am. Here I am. I hate it here. How did I have Espio sound? Hey Sonic, said Espio, I am back from the hospital. Where's Charmy and Vector?
Well, they are dead,
said Sonic.
Vector killed Charmy and we killed Vector, so they are now both dead. Vector was a bad guy, so we will not be in trouble.
Yeah, said Tails.
They will not come back to lunch anymore. I rescued Sonic and Knuckles Jr.
Ah, that's right. Where are Knuckles, my baby with Rouge? And Knuckles Jr., said Espio to Sonic and Tails.
They're right here. Here you go,
said Sonic, and Sonic gave the two babies to Espio. What a relief. Sonic was tired of having to take care of babies that were not even his. It is good that Sonic has the best morals of all high school students, because any other person pretty much would have not taken good care of them. Yes, Baho, said Sonic. It is my job to do crimes. Then Shadow laughed and high-fived Sonic for doing a good job. Sonic was the best.
Please explain to Silver what happened,
said Sonic and Shadow. Okay, I'll explain it to him then. I'll explain it to him. I wish he was in the same lunch period as us, but he is not, said Shadow in an explaining way.
I will not high-five Sonic,
said Tails.
I will not high-five Sonic,
said Tails.
His balls are full of poison and it is easily catchable. Tails,
screamed Sonic. So it is true. You really do have a ball problem, said Espio. It is okay, Sonic. Other people have problems with, and your balls are just like theirs.
Okay, but this is different and bad and getting only more worse,
said Sonic with a whirring voice.
Whatever. It's almost summer,
said Tails.
That means high school is ending soon.
Cool, yeah, said everyone at the same time because it was easier too. Then everyone went to different classes. Tails went to his smart class that he was in with Cream, but Cream was standing outside of the class where Tails went to.
Cream, are you standing outside you're standing outside the class? Why?
Said Tails to Cream.
Didn't you hear? Charmy's dead, and it relaxes me so much now because I don't have to break up with him. We can become true boyfriend and girlfriend now,
said Cream to Tails in the hallway outside.
But we have class now,
said Tails to Cream.
Forget class, Smarto,
said Cream shoutingly. Cream pulled on Tails' hand until his whole body moved and brought him into a closet in the school. It was big enough inside for sex is what Tails noticed.
Aww.
Cream locked the door and took off all of her clothing. Tails was so shocked, but he looked at her sexy body and it looked like a beautiful naked man with a vagina. What does that mean? Cream took out her vagina, and showed it to Tails, and he went nuts. His penis got hard as a printer because her vagina looked like a cold-cut platter. What does that mean?
Wow, cool vagina.
Got it, Tails, losing his cool way because he was nervous and excited to miss class and have sex with Cream for the first time. Tails took out all of his penis and balls, which were already ready, and he jumped right onto her invitation-only parts. Tails jumped up and down with his penis inside her, cheering like a boy teen and shaking his fist in the air, like the Rocky movies, and Cream was happy because she was not a love expert too. Tails' penis kept getting bigger, and Cream's vagina was already pretty much full of his penis.
Make it my room. We got company.
I hate that. Screamed Tails, and then he was able to stick his balls under his penis. I hate that. Tails fit so much genitals into Cream that it looked like there was an upside-down couch sofa in her vagina. Ew. Tails shook around like a crazy, and Cream was slapping her hands and ears into the doors and cleaning supplies in the closet. Cream was now trying to make him even more sex-hard by pulling on her boobs far enough out to touch his face like two big melty gummy bears on her body. Eat from those, screamed Cream, and her voice was breaking like a talking toy that had one of its batteries halfway out, and my brother spilled juice on it so it didn't work right anymore. That was all like too specific. Tails sucked on her boobies while his penis was still in her and got all the stuff out like it was eating yogurt, only with his mouth, and it supercharged him with sex.
Ready?
Yelled Tails to Cream, and before she could say a thing, Tails started waving his flying tails and he flew up with his penis still in her and pointing his penis up so that she went up and was now stuck against the ceiling. I hate that.
I'm about to make my semen. Get ready.
Said Tails loud over the sound of his own tails was making. Tails flew his tails even harder, and Cream got pushed into the metal ceiling so hard that it made a dent. And then Tails' penis shot a gallon of his own New England clam chowder. What the? Into her first time vagina. It got overfull and spilled plenty on the ground, but not both of them cared. Tails slowed down his tail's speed and his penis got smaller, and so did her vagina, and they were both out of breath.
Be a true boyfriend and girlfriend now,
Said Cream and hugged Tails. Tails was so happy and shocked that he became true boyfriend and girlfriend before Sonic did with Amy. Cream put her clothing back on and left, and Tails put his on too. Then he looked at his penis and saw a golden ring on it. A golden ring?
What is it doing here?
A big
gold ring?
said Tails, and he took off the bracelet off his penis.
Why was this in Cream's vagina?
He thought about it, and because he was smart, remembered where he saw this thing. At the end of school, Tails ran to Sonic privately and said,
Sonic, look. What is it? What's that?
said Sonic to Tails,
A big gold ring? Cool, let's sell it for cash.
I won't do that,
No,
said Tails to Sonic.
this is Amy's bracelet and I found it in Cream's vagina. What?
Said Sonic to Tails.
How did this get in there?
He took the ring and had it.
I can only think of one thing.
Said Tails to Tails.
I did not mean to suggest this to you and say that she is being a bad girlfriend, but maybe Amy was giving Cream hand sex. What? No way!
Shouted Sonic to Tails.
But that is the only thing that makes sense. Amy cheated on me. That loose woman, she's a concubine and a bitch.
Sonic got madder than Tails ever saw him get mad and ran off fast. Sonic did not know where he was running to, and to be real, he was not running anywhere. He was running in a really big circle around the town, crying and screaming because Amy cheating on him made him feel worse than anything. Sonic ran around for hours until all of his feelings were out, and he was tired from running and being sad and mad, and feelings that are hard to say what they are. He stopped and said,
There's only one thing that can make this situation better. I have to go tell Amy that I know. Maybe she'll say she's sorry.
Sonic went back to high school and over to the detention room. The security guard was standing outside, but Sonic used his sonic speed to run over to him and punch him so hard in the throat that it closed up for a while and he became unconscious. Sonic took a key from off his keys thing and opened the door to the detention room, saw Amy and Rouge in a corner. Amy and Rouge were both sleeping and they looked really skinny and hungry. It made their boobs look bigger, but they also looked steps from death. What the fuck is in detention? They had been in detention for days now. They had not eaten or drinking at all. Sonic looked at Amy and felt bad at her.
It would be so easy to have sex with her right now.
Oh no, said Sonic behind his face, in his head, but not out loud.
We could become true boyfriend and girlfriend, and now you could pretend like none of this did happen.
Sonic thought it was about it a little bit and even gave his chubby blue penis a toss back and forth like a baseball in a sock. I hate that sentence.
But no, we would not really be true. Not when she cheated on me.
Sonic got ready to wake up Amy and show her the bracelet. Really, that's the first thing you think in that situation. Alright. Chapter 20, New Sonic. Summary. For some reason I read this chapter with "This is Halloween" in my head. I don't know why, and anyone who asks is dodecahedronal gay. Well, I'm not gonna ask then. Author's note. I am so happy because it is now summer now. Woohoo, I am done with school for this year. But here I come, 8th grade. This dude was in 7th grade when you wrote all this? What the shit? What the shit? Also, I will be away on vacation next week, so I'll not be able to write another chapter until after I am back from being on the vacation. Sorry. Dude, that's fucked up. This is weird. That's fucking weird. A fucking 7th grader wrote this. A 12-year-old wrote this. A 12 to 13-year-old wrote this. I mean, that sounds about right, but come on. Bruh.
Wake up,
Said Sonic to Amy as he kicked her a little on the ground where she was lying, looking like a dead woman, but she was not actually dead.
Wake up.
Amy opened her eyes and blinked and rubbed her eyes. Then she sat up a little.
Sonic,
she said in a voice who was living poorly.
Is that you?
Amy looked so old and dead from being in detention. It looked like she did not eat or drink at all in a week.
Yes, it is. Now listen.
Said Sonic angrily to Amy, who was still on the ground looking dying.
Do you know where I found this?
Sonic held out Amy's big gold bracelet from her hand that she was not wearing, so it must have been hers.
What?
Said Amy to Sonic, looking confused and tired.
That is mine. Where did you find that?
Amy coughed and sounded like diseased African kids. What the fuck?
Wow, idiot! I just asked that.
Said Sonic to Amy in an angry and annoyed way.
So you're not gonna tell me where this bracelet was?
I don't know.
Said Amy to Sonic with that crackly sounding voice.
It was up in Cream's vagina. That is where.
Said Sonic to Amy.
When was your jewelry in another girl's vagina?
Screamed Sonic.
I...
Said Amy, trying to say what she wanted to in response to Sonic.
Say you're sorry. Say you are sorry to me.
Shouted Sonic at Amy.
No, Sonic.
Said Amy in still a slowly dying way like that.
Fuck you. If you're not going to say you are sorry for cheating on me with another girl's vagina, then we are done.
Shouted Sonic with all of his rage running out of his mouth like a train full of swords. Sonic was also did not even notice he was crying, which was out of his eyes. But where else would he be crying?
Sonic, don't.
Said Amy like a weakling, but before she could say the rest of her words, Sonic ran out of the detention room and shut the door behind him so they were still in there, and he did not rescue them. Sonic ran fast as he could to his home and slammed the door behind him and screamed to his bed and cried and punched things, and was just so emotional. Sonic could not take all of this pain from being betrayed by his girlfriend, person he was one day going to go and get married to and have children with and live in a house with and be with together. Sonic knew it was not fair that this would happen and that he also had the deadliest disease in the world and would end up dying before everyone else. He cut his wrist a little but did not do it too much because it would be dangerous, like they said at their presentation at school. Did they actually do a presentation like that? I never had a presentation like that. What the fuck? Sonic cried so hard that he fell asleep, and then he woke up a little while later and looked at the mirror at himself. He did not want to see him anymore, because that was all about him being ruined by other people. Even when he was the nicest person to everyone, Sonic reached into his drawers and pulled out a black hair dye. Oh no. No, he's not gonna go emo, no. Sonic filled up the bathtub with this dye and it looked like a portal to Evil World, but then took a bath in it. And when he came out, all of his fur was black. There was no blue on him anymore, anywhere. He looked like Shadow, but only similar. Sonic looked into the mirror again now that he was not blue anymore. He did not say anything, but only looked at himself and looked angry. But not at himself, but at everyone else. Oh god, he went emo. Oh no. Then, Sonic next jumped out of his bedroom window instead of going around and down and using the front door. It was bad, like something Shadow would do. Sonic ran away to the tattoo store and looked at their tattoos. They were all gay. He did not see one that he wanted, but then he went to the tattoo man and threatened him until he let him into the secret back room with tattoos for free. There were a lot of cool bad tattoos. Raw, I fucking love Fortnite. Oh fuck, it's finally Mochi. Hi Mochi, we're reading Sonic High School. And if you missed out on it, we're on chapter 20, which you probably missed out on everything else. Right now, okay, let's see. Sonic found Amy's bracelet in Cream's vagina, and now Sonic broke up with Amy, and now Sonic's becoming emo and getting a tattoo. There, you're basically caught up. Girl, I love Sonic High School. Where was I? There were a lot of cool bad tattoos back in the back room, like ones with guns and cigarettes and motorcycles and middle fingers, and some with also curse words on them. But Sonic knew which one he wanted finally when he saw it. Sonic got "fuck girls" tattooed right across his chest because he was sick of being ruined by girls like Amy and Cream, who let Amy into her vagina, so it was the fault of her too. Sonic ran back home and waited for the next day, kicking and punching things the whole time like a badass. Ugh. It was now the next day of high school, and new Black Sonic went to school, looking like an angry black man instead of a nice blue man like he was every other day. This was a new Sonic, and everyone better watch out because he is sick of the world. Shadow was walking in the hallway and he saw Sonic. "Hey, Sonic," said Shadow to Sonic. "What is up with your new black fur?"
Don't talk to me.
said Sonic in a voice darker than Shadow when he was committing crimes. He sounded so angry. "What, are you trying to copy off me now?" Shadow laughed and smiled, saying this to Sonic. Sonic gave him one look, and almost like being black gave him powers. This sounds so bad. Sonic punched Shadow right in the mouth on his face, and Shadow went flying across the room and hit the wall and was all bloody. Sonic kept walking like nothing happened at all, but other people were looking and were now becoming scared of the new Black Sonic. Sonic went to all of his classes but did not talk to anyone. Even Miss Lesson and other teachers looked afraid of Sonic because he was now scary. Sonic did do some things though, like shove a teenage idiot in his locker, and then punch a student who had autism for laughing at him. Oh no. Sonic did not go to lunch though. He just went outside where no one was and masturbated on his penis and thought about his angry feelings, which were like giant bees flying around on fire. Then Tails came outside. What the fuck?
Sonic, I was looking for you and I found you. Why are you not at lunch?
Said Tails to Sonic, who was sitting on a curb.
Why? Leave me alone.
Said Sonic to Tails in an angry way like before.
Are you mad?
Said Tails to Sonic.
I said leave me alone.
Shouted Sonic to Tails, and he threw a rock at him. The rock missed Tails, and Tails went over to Sonic.
No, Sonic, you're my best friend.
Said Tails to Sonic.
Tell me what is wrong. Why are you black?
Said, "Why are you black?" Oh no. Sonic looked mad and frustrated, but let off a little and opened up to Tails like a book opening.
Fine. That bitch Amy, who's not my girlfriend anymore, would not say sorry to me, so I broke up with her.
Said Sonic to Tails, but Sonic was not looking at Tails and was looking at the ground.
Oh my god, panic!
Said Tails to Sonic. He was looking at Sonic though.
No, I am over here. I am over her. I am different now. I have learned about the world, and I am not so stupid and happy like I used to be. I am black now.
God. Fuck. I hate this. Sonic said to Tails, sounding a little still angry even though he was talking to Tails.
Oh, okay.
Said Tails, sounding sad and disappointed.
I just wanted to make sure you're okay. Espio was worried about you too. He also said Knuckles might fail out of high school because he is now a baby and is having the hardest time doing his class as a baby. I brought you a sandwich.
Tails gave the sandwich to Sonic, and he ate it like a rhino chewing up a bag of humans. And when he finished the sandwich, the next period started and Sonic and Tails went to the rest of their classes. Sonic went home at the end of the day and lied down on his bed and looked up.
Fuck everyone.
Thought Sonic inside of his head, not saying it out loud.
Fuck the world. I'm gonna die and no one cares about me.
Sonic just lied and thought and then did a workout to become big and strong. Sonic sat down at the end of it, tired and sweaty but now strong.
What can I do?
Thought Sonic.
Wait, Amy and Rouge gets out of detention tomorrow.
Sonic looked at his body in front of him and then said,
I'm going to make that bitch pay.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Oh, there's a major character death in this. I don't like that. Alright, so we're gonna just do, every 2 chapters. Now let's see. Should we go with the Markiplier or Germa? Or, let's try looking for a JoJo one. No, I have to go to Google. I'm trying to call you right now, you fucker. No, you are not. Shut up. I'll kiss you. Anyway. Jotaro X Slug Kakyoin. Where is it? Snail's Love. Oh. Where is it? There's gay sex in the corner of my thing. God, I Okay, next time I am gonna do it because I did not like. Oh, there was just an empty website and then just a guy masturbating at the corner of the website. I'm not doing that again. I didn't like that. I'm just gonna get that out of here. Yeah. Just in case. What y'all thinking? Germa or Markiplier? Which one y'all thinking, guys? Germa or Markiplier? Germa, Markiplier. Which one y'all thinking? My eye itches a little. Where's my dice? Okay. How about this? Odds, Markiplier, even Germa. Even, so we're reading a Germa one. Great. Oh, that is a lot. Doesn't seem like too much. Not enough fan fiction, I'll do it myself. Summary. Germa was a grown man, a relatively stable adult, so why was he doing this? I'm too obsessed with Germa that the lack of fanfic has no deterring effect on me. Cracks knuckles. Fine, I'll do it myself. Alright, fuck. My eyelashes are itchy. How long have I been streaming? An hour, almost 2 hours. Jesus fuck. Alright, whatever. Chapter 1. How it started. Are there more than one chapters? Oh, no. There's only been... Alright, I guess there's only been 2. When was this made? Not that long ago. Germa was a grown man, a relatively stable adult. So why was he doing this? Jeremy Evertson sat in his streaming room, Reddit shelf behind him, staring at the monitor with glazed eyes. The monitor cast a bright blue-white glow on his face and dimly lit the rest of the dark room. The house was quiet, save for the sound of Jeremy's own quiet, heavy breathing, Fritzy's old man moment. The familiar website, Twitch, was on the monitor. Featured in the center of the screen was the live feed of a relatively new streamer, Ratmom. She had recently become more popular when clips of her reacting to German memes went viral. Jeremy kept his eyes glued to the woman on the stream as her bright laugh reached his ears, causing him to crack a small smile at the sound of her laughter. He knew what he was doing was a little strange, probably narcissistic even, to watch someone praising your own content, but he couldn't seem to help it. The woman on his screen was so charismatic, it drew him in, and after watching one of her viral clips, he began to think about how beautiful he found her. He felt charmed by her laugh, and found a sense of comfort in her voice. Jeremy all of a sudden felt his chest constrict in his chest as a shock of pain went through him. He was using his alt account, right? Jeremy was snapped out of whatever trance he had slipped into and frantically went to check the username. Shit! He swore softly under his breath as the screen reflected Germa 985 back at him. The embarrassment flooded his brain and froze his body in an instant. He hastily tried to click off the stream he was watching when he heard a shocked gasp from the woman on the other side of the world. Wait, what? Germa's here? She excitedly asked her chat. Well, fuck. Jeremy thought to himself. Chat, you can't fuck with me like that. I almost had a heart attack. Wait, Jeremy thought. He went to check his monitor once again and breathed a sigh of relief. He had read it wrong. He was using his alt. Jesus, that was terrifying, he said quietly to himself. Jeremy took a few deep breaths and finally gathered the courage to face the woman on the screen again. She was laughing, carefree and playful. She looked like she didn't have a care in the world. He tore his eyes from the screen and stared longingly at the empty bottles of beer on his desk, with the kind of a dad noise grunt that even Rhett McGlaughlin could be proud of. Germa stood from his chair and walked over to the door of his stream room in the pale dark. He flipped the light switch on and stepped into the hallway, where he was greeted by the sound asleep dog, Otto. Jeremy leaned down to give him a few pets before continuing down the hallway and into the kitchen, where he found the fridge devoid of more beer. He sighed and looked in his liquor cabinet. His heart was still racing in response to him almost being caught. He hadn't been watching Ratmom for years or anything, but recently he found himself tuning in more of her streams, ending his own streams a bit early, starting a bit late, and he steadily realized she had become more or less ingrained in his daily routine, part of his life, as weird as it may sound. As he pondered the last few months, he poured himself a healthy glass of rum and added his signature touch, Dr. Pepper. Hey, maybe people would call him weird if they knew, but for him, it was a new twist on the classic rum and coke. And more importantly, he needed something a little stronger if he wanted to quit the racing. I think they spelled it there. Yeah, they spelled it quiet instead of quit. The racing thoughts in his head. After taking a few sips of his creation, he finally felt more at ease. With the new quiet of his mind, he thought of you, the newly famous Twitch streamer with the stupid username RatMom. He recounted your laugh, your honest expression of joy, and he couldn't help the soft smile that came to his lips. As he fell back into the familiar comfort the drink brought him, he allowed himself to think about the incident. Why was he so scared that she would know he was watching? It's not like he was some creep. He just enjoyed watching her. I mean, the whole reason he found her channel in the first place was because he was tagged into oblivion about her. Why Jerma's the best streamer video. Actually, people were still tagging him in it a month later. Jeremy set his drink down and scrunched his eyebrows in thought, formulating an idea in his ADHD-riddled brain. Maybe I could stop using my owl when watching her, he mutters to himself. The perfect opportunity to go full React Andy. Give chat what they've been salivating over for a month now. Yep, he was going to out himself as a rat mom simp. Well, that was relatively short, if I do say so myself. Alright. You know what? I think it's a good place to start off. To be fair. To be a bit fair, I think we should actually end Fanfic Friday on a Friday, if I do believe so. Because I am also tired. Actually, let me check something real quick. I am checking things. No, not that one. No, stop it! Don't launch VTube Studio again, fucker! Bro, a moment. But you know what? Yeah, I think it's time to go sleep maybe. But anyway. You know what? Yeah. So anyway, some point during this week, I want to do a watch along of a movie. I haven't seen in forever, but it's gonna be a wacky little movie. When will I do it? Not Tuesday or tomorrow. I mean, Wednesday maybe. I'd say Wednesday maybe. But for now, it is time to say goodnight, or morning, or afternoon, wherever the fuck time it is. I hope you have a good one, and bye-bye. My model's so weird. Why can't I wink with... I could barely wink with one eye, but I could wink with the other one. Fuck!